Spartan Transportation and Spartan Logistic Management is your one source for all your shipping needs. 53-foot dry van shipments, auto transport shipments, full-service in-house brokerage, drop-lot facilities, just-in-time deliveries to all auto manufacturers, facilities in St. Louis, Missouri, Kansas City, Missouri, and Indianapolis, Indiana. Spartan Logistics, LLC, proud sponsor of the IROC Series, Kyle Steffens UMP Modified and Silver Crown Driver, and Gordy Gundaker, World of Outlaws Late Model. Visit us at spartan-logistics.net or find us on Facebook.
Need insurance coverage that's built for speed? Frank Yea's office in South Charleston has your back. Whether you're blazing down the highway, protecting the home you've built, or setting up a legacy for your family, we've got the coverage you need. Auto, home, life, fast, simple, and made for you. Scan the QR code on your screen now to explore all our services and start a free quote today. Lock it in, save it for later, or call us at 304-744-7700 to get started.
How much signal I need to cut across 8 lane? None? I turn now. Good luck, everybody else!
Atlanta Motor Speedway, located 20 minutes south of downtown Atlanta in Hampton, Georgia, has come a very long way from the first race, held in 1960 and won by NASCAR legend Fireball Roberts, who also took the pole at 133 miles per hour. Spectators from that day who watched from one small grandstand or on blankets spread out on an adjacent dirt bank wouldn't begin to recognize the facility today, even down to its name. Dubbed Atlanta International Raceway when it opened, the track struggled financially through the 60s and 70s before finding a degree of stability in the 80s. Real change came following Bruton Smith's purchase of the facility in 1990, with a transformation of Atlanta International Speedway occurring in 1997. With extensive reconfiguration that switched front and back straightaways and added a double dogleg in the new front straightaway. In the 7 intervening years, new grandstands sprouted almost every year, and a 9-story tower, Terra Place, that houses the track offices and a number of luxury condominiums. Atlanta has been a staple on the NASCAR calendar for decades, and tonight it's the IROC Challenge Series Hotlanta 202, and it's next on Track Limits Network. Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the virtual Atlanta Motor Speedway. I'm Steve Singer with Track Limits Network, bringing you tonight the Hotlanta 202, race number 10, season number 10 of the IROC Challenge Series. Let's look at the race details tonight. 78-degree ambient temperature, 45% humidity, partly cloudy skies, 2-mile-per-hour breeze. Track temperature, it's toasty here on this worn-out asphalt surface, 115 degrees Fahrenheit. Race distance 135 laps, stage occurring at lap 35. There will be no caution flag thrown for that stage. 75% fuel allowed, 3 sets of tires available over the wall, and no fast repairs. Count them, 0, zip, zilch, with 3 attempts at a green-white checkered finish if necessary. Once again, good evening, everybody. Welcome to the virtual Atlanta Motor Speedway Race 10 of the IROC Challenge Series, getting ready to get underway here. About a minute left in the warm-up session. Practice and qualifying already complete. We'll get to the starting grid here in just a minute or so. Should be a good one here this evening on the old scan of Atlanta Motor Speedway here tonight, which means a lot of worn-out tires and a lot of hot tempers. A lot of frustration trying to keep those general tires underneath these race cars here tonight. Again, only 3 sets over the wall to work with. 4 total. Shouldn't be completely unmanageable, but these drivers are going to have to make a game plan here tonight, whether to really conserve early on to save a tire set for late in the race, or just to kind of get after it, have that pace. Maybe you don't get those cautions. Last couple of weeks, races have been a lot cleaner here in the IROC Challenge Series, so maybe we don't see those cautions. Lots to think about here, but 10 seconds left in the warm-up. TJ Major is the fastest, almost cracking a 29-second lap, just shy, about 21 thousandths short of getting into that 29-second land. Still tops the board. So that'll do it for the warm-up session, and really that's all that's left here is the race, so we'll get to there in just a moment. Everybody wrapping up their final laps here as the black and red flags drop down on the speedway. And here we are into our pre-stage, our grid portion of the race. Let's take a look at it. On the pole position with a lap time of 30.142 seconds, it's the 46 of Chris Mefford. Outside front row, Evan Janik, you can't miss it by much more or much less than that. 2 1/1000ths of a second, the margin between Chris Mefford and Evan Janik. Janik will start outside pole. Second row is Aaron Smith and Lilith Peters. Keep an eye on that one each and every week. Keep seeing her get faster and faster. Going to be a contender here tonight. Row number 3, Chuck Sweeting in the number 75 Mystery Motorsports machine, flanked by the 29 of Christian Strader. Row number 4, it's Chris Wally and Kyle Hardy. Row 5 goes to Garrett Johnston and Jason Nilgis. Row 6,
William Tyndall and TJ Majors. Sorry, I had a little brain burp there. We'll keep going. Starting in the 13th spot, the 76 of Brent Butler and James Pileski in 14th. Kyle White will start 15th. 16th goes to Peter Ruzick. Nuke Quick will start 17th. Brother Neil Quick will start 18th. Shane Haas rolls off 19th. Brandon Mefford 20th. 21st, Adam Pettit. Steve Durbin 22nd. Zachary Cleek 23rd. Vincent Short will start 24th. Josh Mears 25th. 26 starters Casey Bentz. Gavin Hinson will start 27th. Brian McCann 28th. Todd Cleek 29th. Jimmy Schofield starts 30th. 31st belongs to Matt Kopp. Adam Benefiel in the 9 starts 32nd, and shotgun on the field, the number 13 of Phil Chartier. Still trying to remember how to say it. I know he told me last week, but I didn't do my homework, I guess. First pace lap underway. Should only have one to be concerned with here at Atlanta. Big enough racetrack. We're not going to make it two unless the race officials waive this one and enact another lap to get everybody formed up. They may do just that because there's still some guys still on the flat of the racetrack exiting turns 1 and 2. Got Brian McCann in the chat here tonight. Says, just know that I'm on a mobile rig on a 15-inch laptop and a dream. Oh boy. Keep a close eye on Brian McCann. Pace car's in. We're going green.
Green.
Oh, trouble already. I think that might be the 6 of TJ Majors. Hard to say for sure. No, it is not. Majors did not get sideways off of turn 2. Somebody didn't catch the car number. First lap in the books, and it's hotly contested, but Aaron Smith's going to lead him back to the stripe by just a few feet over Chris Mefford. Janik 3rd, Peters 4th, Strader 5th. Aaron Smith with the lead here off turn number 2. Peter scrapes the wall a bit on the exit. Side by side, almost 3 wide there for a brief moment. Chris Mefford will hang on to the 2nd spot. Then Janik and Peters side by side. Then the 29 is Strader. He's got company with Garrett Johnston in the 15. Side-by-side battle behind the race leader. Peters on the outside of the 7 of Evan Janik. Chris Mefford still in the 2nd position. Four laps complete. Aaron Smith still out in front, but not getting any distance to the rest of the field here. We know Aaron Smith is fast, but he's going to have to maintain those tires here tonight. Chris Mefford been known to be very good at taking care of his equipment. Brandon Mefford, kind of the same story. Brandon Mefford, though, running back in the 22nd position. Mefford alongside Steve Durbin. Durbin in the green number 99 on the low side of the racetrack. TJ Major is up a couple of positions in the first 6 laps, looking for a 3rd one here as the 35. Kyle Hardy works to the outside. Real loose on exit for the 6. Hardy swaps lanes now as he gets clear of Majors. Battle for position in front of the field here. Chris Mefford under fire from the 15. Garrett Johnston charging, a little wiggle in the tail end of that car. Further update on Brian McCann as we continue to watch this battle for the second spot. McCann just now leaving pit lane, did not take the green flag. Don't know if he had a technical issue with the laptop that he's racing on here tonight. We'll keep an eye on the 3 here. He's going to need some cautions to get caught up. Johnston now gets the second spot from Chris Mefford. Looks like he's going to give it up another position here as Strader gets by. The 76 of Butler to the outside as well. This might be all part of the strategy play. Mefford ran some hard laps, but now time to back her down, get some temperature out of those tires, save them a bit for later on in the run. Remember, we do not get an actual caution for the stage here at lap 35. They'll just pay out some points and everybody will keep on racing. Johnston trying to march towards the front, but he's got his hands full with the 29 of Strader. Strader up on the outside lane. Oh, contact behind him, and Peters goes around. Peters makes hard contact, looked to be the inside wall, but then the race car fixed itself. Well, not completely. Left front beaten and battered pretty heavily, and we did not get a caution there. That's a shame. So once again, Lilith Peters, an early exit, reminiscent of last week, getting caught up in an incident. I think Chris Mefford may have been involved with this one last week. It was Brandon Mefford. Oh no. Peters can't turn the race car, unfortunately. She's going to try and back up into the box. Damage pretty significant on the one machine. Might be day over for Lilith Peters. Tough break early on here at Atlanta. Strader and Johnston still fighting it out for that second position. They've switched lanes, though. Johnston now on the high side, Strader down low. Behind him is Janik and Butler. Aaron Smith just checking out here now, about a half-second advantage over the rest of the field, and Majors gets the wall, exit at turn number 4. Looked to be a pretty good hit. Keep an eye on the 6. He was starting to march his way up through the field. Now he runs in the 7th position, only lost one spot after that contact. Meanwhile, up front, Garrett Johnston now stays into that second position. Strader is starting to slip back. Might overheated those tires a bit. Butler now third, and then there's Janik in behind the 76, side by side with Strader. And Majors gets the wall a second time on corner exit. We got Vintage Hiker in the chat. No caution. That's a bummer for those two. Might be a day's end. Early couch time. Unfortunately, yes. But Vintage Hiker, I don't know if you got a smart TV. You can still watch the race from the couch. All sorts of handling issues for the 7 to Janik. He's still running in the top 5, but he had his hands full off turn number 2. Janik in that maroon number 7. Majors now back to the 5th position, but not by a whole lot. He's got Jason Nile just to his inside. Meanwhile, this battling going on behind Aaron Smith. He's starting to stretch his lead out. He's got only 18 laps in, but he's out to almost 7/10 of a second, and now gaining really fast on the center off of this corner. Gained almost a full 10th just on the exit. Oh, straighter in the wall. Turns in a little too late. Scrapes the wall on entry. We'll go on board here with Jason Nile just for a moment. Oh, real loose Majors again. He has got his hands full. Just losing major ground now. Lost a couple. Majors got by. Janik got by. Strader's alongside. Janik will slot in front of the 88 behind Strader. Nile just never lifted, though. Jumps back to the inside, trying to do something with the 7. Meanwhile, Aaron Smith has found another gear. He is checking out. It was 7/10 of a second just a few laps ago. He's doubled that now to over a second and a half. Good racing here at the front of the field. Not so much for the race lead, but just about everybody behind Aaron Smith. Another big wiggle for Johnston now. Oh, real loose is Butler. Hangs onto it, but everybody checks up and scatters left to the right. Butler's going to lose 2-3 spots here as now he's got Jason Nile just to his inside. Lost a couple to Strader and Janik. And Aaron Smith is walking away. 2.2 seconds now. Gonna go 3 wide here down to turn number 3. Janik slots in behind, thinks better of it. Strader up the top of the racetrack, gave a ton of room down low. We're getting ready to see a yellow here if these guys keep this up. Everybody really struggling with the handle on these race cars. Meanwhile, TJ Majors has fallen from the top 5 back to 10th. Started 12th here to the man. He is just really loose. Let's go to the driver's eye camera on TJ Majors here and see what kind of correction he's trying to make inside that race car. Oh, there he goes. As soon as we hop in there, he's in the wall. Back on board with the 6 again. TJ really having to pedal it. I think he's turning to the right more than the left. It's okay if you're on dirt. But we're not on dirt. TJ really trying to work that top line of the racetrack. May help a little bit not having to put as much wheel into it, but the problem is if you do get loose, you don't really have a whole lot of room to correct. It's only about a foot off the wall. Searching for some grip up there. Meanwhile, back up front, Johnston still second, Janik third, Strader fourth, Nile just fifth. Aaron Smith now 3.1 seconds out in front. Further down through the field, let's take a look here. Let's check on the 83 of Brandon Meffer. Remember, he was back in about the 22nd spot. He's gained 10 since then. Running in 12th. Appears Gavin Hinson and Casey Bentz have had an issue out of the racetrack as well. They remain in pit lane and have been there for the better part of 5 minutes. With some pretty significant damage. Their day might be done as well. Lilith Peters, let's just say, out of this race. Meffer now working underneath TJ Majors, who handling has gone away on the 6th. He was quick. Worked his way up from, I think, the 12th spot all the way into the top 5 and started to encounter some very loose handling. Oh, another car off turn number 4. New Quick in the 4, going off-road, catching some air through the Legends Oval. He'll come back onto the racetrack. Might have gotten away with it. No, maybe not. Got to watch that transition. New Quick trying to gather it up. It's taken him the better part of the dog leg in turns 1 and 2 to get it figured out, but he's back under power. What a moment for New Quick. Let's take a look at it just a moment ago. Did a really nice job. Big time air. And the 13 may have just done the same thing. Phil Chartier. I still think I'm saying it wrong. That's how he told me to pronounce it, but let's look at it. Just about the exact same thing Nuke did, but a little bit sooner. Only about 2 car widths apart. Now they run the same line through the grass. And Garrett Johnston has crashed. Johnston, the low side of the racetrack, very slow. Trouble for the 15, who was so fast, running in the 2nd spot. We'll get a look what happened here in just a moment, but we stay green still. Flagman swallowing the yellow flag, and there was some contact here. Was this with James Pileski? Can't tell with the numbers. The 53, possibly. 93, no, it was James Pileski. Contact made. We're backing up a little bit further here. I want to see if we can get an idea of how this happened. The 93 and the 15 in the frame. Watch the 93. Then he's the low side of the racetrack. Starts to come up. Comes up a little bit faster than Johnston does and gets into the left rear of the 15. The rest is history. Well, everybody did a great job avoiding that. Might be minimal damage for Garrett Johnston, so if we catch a caution, he should be able to get caught up. But the way this one's going so far, race officials not excited about throwing the yellow, and they have yet to do it at all tonight. Stage is in the books. Aaron Smith wins it. Aaron Smith enjoying a 5-second advantage over second place, but the lap time's starting to equalize a bit. Aaron Smith's last lap at 31:43, but Nilgis, well, not much faster, really not faster at all, about 0.2 slower, in fact. Meanwhile, Garrett Johnston in pit lane. Garrett's going to go back out with a fresh set of tires. Now we'll watch the battle for the second spot now. Nilgis is second. Christian Strader is third. Adam Pettit, Evan Janik, the top five. So we've got some pit stops underway here as Brent Butler will come down to the attention of his crew. First pit stop for the 76 here tonight. Ooh, locks up the rears just a bit, catches it quick enough, and gets into the box without too much of an issue. Meanwhile, Aaron Smith from the race lead, he'll come down and pit. So that'll give the lead over to Jason Nilgis as we've got green flag stops. Is going to do the same. Now, this is not an open setup series, so anything TJ does here as far as the car is concerned, it's just going to be tires and fuel. There's nothing much he can really change here, not tire pressure, not anything. First round of green flag stops underway, and it appears Adam Pettit has had a moment out on the racetrack. Trying to find where that is. This may have been coming into pit lane. Let's take a look. Just a moment ago, watch the 49. Trying to get woed up for the pits. Misses his pit entry, has to lock him up and go through the grass. And I think that's going to yield him a penalty, or earn him one for that matter. Pettit's still in the pit box, so yes, unsafe entry for the 49. Now Neil Quick from the race lead. Neil Quick in the pit lane from the top spot. That's going to give the lead back to the 70 of Aaron Smith. It's our first cycle of green flag stops almost done. Lap 43 up on the board. Green flag cycle of pit stops are in the books. Aaron Smith cycles back to the race lead, but now an 8.7 second lead over Brent Butler, Christian Strader, Evan Janik, and James Pileski. Pettit will stay to the top of the racetrack to yield to Aaron Smith. Further back in the pack, though, that battle for that second position really hasn't slowed down at all. Strader in behind the 76, then Evan Janik in the fourth position. They're all right there in a trio. James Pileski seen about half a straightaway back in the frame. quarters racing here. Butler leading Strader. Now Strader's got company. Evan Janik wants a part of the party. Work underneath the 35. Oh, and contact. Butler goes around. He'll slam the inside wall off turn number 2. Still no yellow. I gotta wonder if we have iRacing cautions turned off or if iRacing is just getting really picky about what they throw. Now, full course cautions are disabled here tonight. So they may have a live admin. Maybe the live admin did not catch it. Just check the details of the league session here. Caution flags turned off. So hopefully they've got a live admin there. But unfortunately, there's been a couple that we did not catch a yellow for, and we really should have. So Brett Butler, who was so fast early on here, also falling victim to some issues on the backstretch. Gets spun sideways, heads down, hits the inside pit wall, and I think that race car has got some pretty significant damage. We don't really see it per se, but he is well off the pace. And it looks like he's going to come to the pits. Butler stays out. He's going to try and ride this out, see what can happen here, if he should get a yellow or not. But let's take a look what happened a moment ago here to the 76 of Brent Butler. Trying to work around a lap car. Janik to his inside. I don't know if Janik realizes there's a lap car up top or not. Gets into him. Back it up a little further here again. Watch this here from the blimp. Butler's holding position in the middle lane, and I think Janik cannot see the 35 to the right of Butler. So he's kind of expecting the 76 to go up the racetrack another lane, but there's somebody there that the 7 cannot see. They make contact, and well, there's the rest of it. 76 gets turned. Back to the leaders. The 7 of Janik now, the second place machine. To the outside, it's the 51. That's a lap car. That is Chris Wally. Christian Strader still in third. Peter Ruzick now in the top 5. James Pileski in 5th. Oh, Janik way down the bottom of the racetrack, catches the apron. It steps out on him, but he hangs onto it. More smoke ahead, not sure what just happened there. Looks like Adam Benefield, he may have exited quickly to avoid being run over, but again, another incident without a caution. Let's see what happened here to Adam just a moment ago. Catches the wall, and he's, oh, that's going to be big. Yeah, they got lucky to avoid that. Again, if anybody knows if we have a live admin here tonight, we do not have iRacing cautions turned on. This one is going to be brutal for some of these guys trying to save tires if we run green all the way. It's going to be a big issue for Brian McCann because remember, he did not make the initial start. McCann running laps down right out the gate. Can't actually 5 laps down, so he's going to need a lot to get caught up. Would not bet on it. Strader's taking the second spot away from Evan Janik. Janik now back to third. Niall just now getting off of turn number 2. He runs in fourth. Strong run for the 88 so far tonight, but seeing a little bit of right front damage on his race car. We'll see if we can get a closer look.
There will be a caution.
And there's a caution.
Same fuel.
Damage does not look to be present on Jason Niles' machine. That's just the fender flare. I thought it was the tire, but they're all the same color. Looks like Vincent Short, though, with a moment on the racetrack. We'll see what happened there with Vince. Vince down on the apron of the racetrack through the grass. Nose missing off the 55. First caution of the night, though. Let's see if he had some help. William Tyndall. All over Vince like a cheap suit. I don't know what that was all about. Let's back it up, see if there's more to the story. I don't know how far we're going to go here. They were battling pretty hard for a while. Side by side. This was through turns 1 and 2. Vince throws the slider. I mean, it looked pretty good to me. Tyndall took offense to it, but he's all over the back bumper. Hits him once, twice, and the third time he right hooks him. More pit stops underway as we are under the caution flag. We'll see if anybody opts to kind of stretch this one out, maybe try and save a set here, because it hasn't been all that long since they made their pit stops, maybe about 15 to 20 laps. Pit stops wrapping up here at Atlanta Motor Speedway. First caution pit stops of the evening. Here's that Jason Niles, Steve Durbin had stayed out of the racetrack. Their pit stop last coming at lap 40. So this is a big gamble for them. The tire fall off being what it is, we're going to really see how quickly Niles and Durbin get chewed up by those fresh tires behind them. Some, though, looking at it, opted for 2, maybe even less. Fuel only. James Pileski went 7.5 seconds. Chris Mefford, that is, 7.4 seconds. A couple of drivers opting for maybe 2 or none. On the one to go will be green flag racing in about a half a lap. Front row is going to be Niles and Durbin now. Niles will opt for the outside lane. Pace car heads to pit lane. Barney with the green in hand. Lap 61 goes up on the board. Back racing from Atlanta. And there it is, Aaron Smith fast on the outside, or trying to get to the outside with those new tires. Didn't want to waste any time, but has to settle in and make some contact. Lyle just straightens it out. Aaron Smith now in behind. Steve Durbin looking for the race lead. They're 3 wide behind him. Oh, trouble. The 11's in the wall hard in the dog leg. Can he straighten it back out? No, we got big time trouble here in the dog leg.
Talk to me, Goose. What do you got?
Adam Pettit in it, William Tyndall, Brian McCann. Big wreck here in the dogleg, a lap after the restart. Let's see if we can get a look at this. I believe it started out with the 11 of Zachary Cleek. He is tore up pretty bad. Back this up a little further. This is kind of how it started. He had his troubles off of turn 4. We'll watch it in real time. Watch the 11. Tank slaps a bit. Saves it, but overcorrects. And if he's able to ride the wall here, he'd have been okay, but Brian McCann just didn't see him at all and just drives straight in the back. I don't think he ever even lifted. Want to watch that from Brian's perspective, or do we? We're going to go real-time on board with the 3 driver's eye camera. Ouch. So now Durbin and Nilgis will come down and pit. If this caution came out about 2 laps later, that would kind of be a benefit to them. 1 lap, I don't see it helping terribly much, but they needed the tires anyway, getting their last pit stop coming at lap 40. Seems like a handful of other drivers are going to come down and pit too. Granted, they may have been involved in that incident. So very quickly, Aaron Smith, through that cycle, back into the race lead. So a tough situation for Brian McCann, went from bad to worse. Of course, he started the night off. He was on a mobile rig racing on a 15-inch laptop. And then to get caught up in this after missing the start, being 5 laps down already, his odds at winning pretty much out the window at the drop of the green flag. Now his odds of finishing not looking so great. Pace car lights are out. We're on the 1 to go. We'll be racing again next time by. Lap 66 will go up on the timing tower. Race car comes to pit lane.
Green flag.
Aaron Smith continues to lead. The usual suspects behind him, Christian Strader and Evan Janik. Strader now looking for the race lead. He's alongside Aaron Smith. Haven't seen this all night long. Strader coming to the line here. Will he lead the lap? No, Aaron Smith will get it, but not by much. Aaron Smith about a tenth slower than Strader the last time. Strader still fighting on the low side of the racetrack, but now Janik all over the back bumpers. He rides the wall off of turn number 2, and Chris Mefford's around off of turn 2. He'll kiss the inside wall. We stay green. Watch it again here just a moment ago. Mefford just kind of lost it on his own, but he gets a little bit of help after the fact. Not sure who it was that got into the back of him. '26 machine. That was Peter Ruzick. Meanwhile, the battle for the lead continues. Strader and Aaron Smith side by side. Aaron does not want to give up the clean air. Lap after lap. They've been side by side for the race lead. I think Strader is going to kind of give it up here. No sense in burning off the tires at this stage of the race as we are just past halfway. Aaron Smith leads, Janik second, Strader runs third as they swap lanes. Now Janik's going to give it a shot. Janik in the nose out in front into turns 3 and 4, but riding the outside, the 70 of Aaron Smith will have the run. Coming back to the stripe. Aaron Smith leads that lap as well. With that, we're going to step aside here, get our track limits side-by-side break out of the way. Stay with us. We'll be back after this.
Spartan Transportation and Spartan Logistic Management is your one source for all your shipping needs. 53-foot dry van shipments, auto transport shipments, full-service in-house brokerage, drop lot facilities, just-in-time deliveries to all auto manufacturers, facilities in St. Louis, Missouri, Kansas City, Missouri, and Indianapolis, Indiana. Spartan Logistics LLC, proud sponsor of the IROC Series, Kyle Steffens UMP Modified and Silver Crown Driver, and Gordy Gundaker, World of Outlaws late model. Visit us at spartan-logistics.net or find us on Facebook.
Need insurance coverage that's built for speed? Frank Yea's office in South Charleston has your back. Whether you're blazing down the highway, protecting the home you've built, or setting up a legacy for your family, we've got the coverage you need. Auto, home, life, fast, simple, and made for you. Scan the QR code on your screen now to explore all our services and start a free quote today. Lock it in, save it for later, or call us at 304-744-7700 to get started.
Back at Atlanta Motor Speedway, 79 laps in the books. Aaron Smith continues to dominate. Strader had the lead for a brief moment or two, but didn't take long for Aaron Smith to take it back. Strader still right there, car length and a half off the back bumper of the 70. Meanwhile, TJ Majors starting to settle in. I don't know if he's just adapted to the racetrack, got a feel for things, but he has worked his way back up and now the top three, the highest we've seen the six running all night long. See if Majors has something for Aaron Smith if he can get there. $19 cars still on the lead lap. Chris Mefford in the 46, the last car on the lead lap after an early incident and then a subsequent crash off of turn number 2 where he caught the inside wall. Evan Janik still in the top 5, but not for long if Chuck Sweeting has his say. Sweeting right there. Half a car off the back bumper of the 7. Sweeting up the racetrack. And that bright pink number 75. Man, that thing really pops. Leaders working through some lap traffic. Majors takes evasive action. So does Garrett Johnston. Johnston, though, after some rather short repairs, got some repairs made to that 15 car after his incident. Running in the top 5 again. Don't think it's quite up to par what it was early on. Certainly competitive. His fastest lap of the night, though, a 29.89. I don't know if anybody else has been quicker. TJ Majors ran a 95. Those two drivers, one of only 3 to crack a 29-second lap. The other, the 75 of Chuck Sweeting in a 29.96. So far this run, Aaron Smith has yet to check out. Still about a quarter-second plus advantage back to Christian Strader. If it weren't for Garrett Johnston, I think Strader would have his hands full with TJ Majors, but now Johnston to the inside will take the 3rd position away. After a bit of a loose moment for Majors off of turn number 4, TJ rides the back bumper of Johnston all the way down into turn number 1, swaps lanes up the racetrack there side by side. I don't know if it's the paint scheme on the 6 or if he's really just that loose, because it seems like he's hanging the right rear in the wind every corner. Strader with a moment off of turn number 2, real loose, allows Majors to close the gap by a half a car length. Strader still in the gas, able to pull a bit of a draft off the 70 of Aaron Smith. Majors now to the second spot. Johnston will follow him through. Strader will lose a couple out of this. So now we get to see the battle we've waited a lot of the night to see. Majors was trying to apply some pressure to Aaron Smith, but he's got to watch the rearview mirror as well as Garrett Johnston hot the trot. He wants the second spot. Big wiggle for Johnston, keeps it off the door of the 6th. Gonna lose some ground and maybe a position now as Strader runs up behind TJ Majors. Johnston, though, gonna battle back, but this is allowing Chuck Sweeting to close the gap into the top 4. Back to the race lead. Smith still with it, but I think TJ Majors might have something for him as we're closing into 45 laps to go. Still need to see another pit stop before this one is over. Making a move now to the exit at turn number 2. Majors takes a look, but Strader fills the gap that TJ left open. Majors thought he had an opportunity to take the race lead, changed his mind, wanted to fill the gap that he left, but the 29 quickly was there. Now Majors gets back out ahead of the 29 machine. Top 5 in formation. Various lines on this wore-out racetrack. Strader scrapes the wall. Majors may have a run here down the back straightaway, running a higher line, will be in the draft of Aaron Smith. Closes the gap a bit into turn number 3. Strader up in the wall. Christian Strader will drop from 3rd to 5th. On board with Aaron Smith. Lap after lap, TJ Majors is trying. He's just a tiny bit quicker than Aaron Smith right now. Last lap was about 100th quicker. This time Aaron Smith takes it back about half a tenth faster than the 6th. Gotta wonder how long they can put up this kind of a fight before they really start to anger those tires. Again, we're right to the point where we're just about to that window where these guys can make their final pit stop. Is anybody trying the old undercut here, trying to pit a little bit early to get a tire advantage? Jason Nylogist might just be one of those drivers trying to take a crack at it. Not a whole lot has changed up in the top 5, except for the fact Chuck Sweeting has started to quietly work his way up into the top 3. Sweeting's been fast, one of the fastest drivers out on the racetrack here tonight. Aaron Smith, though, continues to lead, and here comes TJ Majors into pit lane. Wow, did he keep that close to the vest? He waited till the very last minute to make that move to pit lane and get on the brakes. Garrett Johnston will follow him down. So likely our last round of pit stops of the night if we stay green to the end. Majors into the pit box. Right side tires going on. Sunoco Race Fuel going in to fill the tank. Crew around to the left side. 4 tires and fuel for TJ Majors. Drops the jack, he's down and away. 14.77 second pit stop for TJ Majors. Aaron Smith now, he's not going to give him a chance. He's going to come down the next lap along with Christian Strader. So Chuck Sweeting now out on the lap by himself for now with the race lead, with Kevin Janik and Steve Durbin in third. Everybody else on the pit lane. Four tires and fuel for Aaron Smith and Strader both. Sweeting now will come to the attention to his crew. Now, we're not talking about a lot of laps here, but this will give Sweeting an opportunity to have a little bit newer tires than Majors and Aaron Smith. Now, Aaron Smith, only 1 lap older. TJ Majors will be 2 laps older. 4 tires and fuel for Chuck Sweeting. He drops the jack. Slow stop, and he gets dinged. Too fast on entry for Chuck Sweeting. Oh, we say it so often, don't beat yourself. Chuck Sweeting may have just done that. He's got to serve a penalty here late in this race on what could be the final stop. Chuck Sweeting's race has gone out the window. Meanwhile, Shane Haas in the number 23 is your new leader. Haas made a pit stop at lap 63, so we should see him at any moment. So Haas, the leader, and Majors with just 1 singular lap on the racetrack has managed to leapfrog Aaron Smith, and actually so did Garrett Johnston. Johnston followed Majors down into the pits. Haas stays out on the racetrack. But here is the battle for the second position. Second, third, fourth. This will eventually be first through third when Shane Haas decides to come to pit lane. Aaron Smith on the attack to the inside of Garrett Johnston. Johnston will catch the wall, has to save it. Aaron Smith with a huge run, gets to the inside of TJ. Might take 2 spots here in just 2 corners. Now, with that said, it did seem like Majors' car came to life the best later on in the run. Still wasn't able to complete the pass under green flag conditions. If we get later in this race, the aggression level goes up, and you start throwing every trick in the bag you got. TJ hangs on to the lead for now. Aaron Smith second, Johnston third. Now Christian Strader still in the top 5, but Timmy Schofield now jumps up into the 5th spot. Schofield in the number 12, up 25 spots from 30th. Schofield made his last pit stop too, so he's worked this one through strategy and just raw pace, take care of the race car, be there at the end. He's looking like a solid finish for the 12 here tonight if he can finish the next 30 and a half laps. Battle for the lead again, Aaron Smith alongside. Starting to see how important clean air is at this racetrack. Majors is quick, but he's been able to stay out in front of Aaron Smith on the outside lane and keep him behind, or at least at the door of the sixth. Aaron Smith hasn't been able to complete the pass just yet. Again, he does have one lap older tires. It is only one lap, but it's a very abrasive racetrack. It does matter. Top three close-knit together. Chris Wally, a lap car in the 4th position there, but he's not a lead lap car. He's in 15th. Brian McCann in the chat. Talk about Aaron Smith a lot. Give him the commentator's curse. He don't need another win. So far, so good. He's running second. TJ Majors trying to lock this one down, and there's a caution. We got a car very slow. Jason Nilgis with the nose destroyed on his number 88 machine. So, does anybody have any tires left? I'm going to say, oh man, I don't know. Looks like everybody's made 3 stops, and I don't know if anybody went fuel only at any point. We're going to find out, but let's see if we can figure out what happened here to the 88 of Nilgis. This is way after the fact. Let's see if we can rewind it and get a look at it. All right, so this is with Brandon Mefford and Neil Quick on the bottom. They were roughly 3 wide. Mefford comes up a little. They make a little bit of door-to-door contact. They're both trying to hang on. And then Mefford just comes up the track before he was clear. Let's back it up a little further here. I want to see if I can get a better angle on this. I don't know if Mefford was just trying to tuck back in behind Nilgis and did it too soon, or if he got frustrated, but either way, the end result the same. Nilgis gets pancaked. Trying to steer it, and he can't. He just drives it up the track and brings out the caution. So some drivers in pit lane here. Leaders have stayed out. So this is going to get interesting. There's a few drivers, James Pileski, Neil Quick, took 4 tires just now. Oh boy. I think Chris Mefford did as well. Is Mefford on the lead lap? It appears as yes. He's on the pit lane again, or did he just finish the pit stop? 1463. No, he's going to pit again. A little bit of damage on the 46 still. He's got at least right side tires. And Chris Mefford still has a set of 4 laying over the wall. He's going to burn them right now here with 25 laps to go. Even with that damage, those tires are going to make a significant difference. Or will it? He has shut the car off. Trying to get some repairs made. Okay. So pace car lights are out. We'll get the restart with 23 laps to go. In front row, it's going to be Aaron Smith and TJ Majors. Majors will keep the outside lane by choice. Seem to be able to defend nicely against the 70 by keeping the car up top. Ready for the restart here. Aaron Smith, TJ Majors going to fight it out again. Majors with the lead car. He'll have control of the restart. Pace car is in. Barney with a green in hand. There it is. Good jump for the 6. He'll be able to come down and block the run from Aaron Smith, and it's coming in a hurry. Aaron Smith dropped it way down low, didn't have anywhere else to go. Had to lift just a bit to stay off the back of TJ Majors. Now Aaron Smith, top of the racetrack with Christian Strader coming. Strader gets the wall a little bit into turn number 3. That'll break his momentum, give the 3rd spot to Garrett Johnston. Evan Janik there in the 5th position. Schofield 6th. Steve Durbin in 7th. Back to the line. Majors will lead it with 22 laps to go. Got to keep on those drivers that put 4 tires on. I think Evan Janik was one of them, so keep an eye on the 7. Christian Strader making a move to the inside of Aaron Smith for a second. Just want to follow up. Evan Janik did not get tires on this last caution, and Aaron Smith gets into the back of TJ Majors and puts him in the wall. We've got big-time trouble here in Atlanta.
Caution down.
Aaron Smith involved in it as well.
Like somebody was keying up on your radio just a few minutes ago.
Things just went to hell in a handbasket. Aaron Smith will tow to pit lane, but the caution is out for the 4th time tonight with 21 laps to go, and our front runners have been taken out. Let's see what happened. Back it up a little bit here, guys. Looks like Majors may have missed the corner a bit. Washes up the racetrack real loose, checks up, pedals it just a bit, and it allows Aaron Smith to get to the back bumper. There's a little contact made right here. Not a good spot for contact as TJ's trying to turn in, but, well, there you go. The rest is history. Unfortunate. You know, the one thing I really like, TJ kept the car all the way up on the racetrack. He's got some damage, but nowhere near what it could have been. Major's shown in the 11th position, but I don't think his night's done. Car looks pretty good. I don't know about the right rear. I gotta be honest, the car looks pretty good. I don't see damage anywhere on that car. I don't know if he's got any kind of suspension issues, if the steering wheel's still straight or not, but body-wise, aerodynamically, I think he's in good shape. But that'll give the lead now to Christian Strader and Garrett Johnston. They'll be on the front row when we get ready for the restart. Evan Janik, Steve Durbin, 3rd and 4th. James Pileski, 5th. Shane Haas, 6th. Kyle White, 7th. Neil Quick, 8th. Brandon Mefford, 9th. Todd Kleek, 10th. Now, Neil Quick made a pit stop at lap 110, put on 4 tires. Further up the line, James Pileski in the number 93 made a pit stop at lap 110 as well. He also put on 4 tires. That is about 10 laps fresher than anybody else out there. That is rather significant at places like this, where the tires wear considerably. That old lore about Darlington Raceway back in the day, where they didn't even want to roll the tires down pit lane for fear it would take a little bit of life out of them. This old place kind of the same way. Brian McCann, if you're still watching, I don't know if that's the bad juju you were looking for, but there you go. On the one to go, getting ready to go racing yet again here from Atlanta Motor Speedway. It'll be 17 laps to go when we catch the green flag. Question is, do we make it to the end without another yellow? I know we're not working the super speedway style action we have here nowadays at Atlanta, but it's been a crazy one. Green flag, back in the air, Strader on the gas, spins the wheels just a little bit, but I'm sure he's not the only one. Strader up the racetrack, Garrett Johnston, who's been fast all night long. Running in the second spot. Johnston had a wreck. There's damage on that race car, but he's holding tough in the second spot. Don't look now, James Pileski with his 4 fresh tires making the charge to the inside for the second spot. Chris Mefford in the 46, think he's got fresh tires too. He's making a move. Pileski still fighting with Garrett Johnston for P2. Christian Strader still out in front. Laps to go. Pileski not able to make it work. He might need to find a way around the outside or drive it deep. He went to the floorboard this time. He gets the second spot. Now hunts and sets his sights on the 29 of Christian Strader. Field off at turn 4. Pileski with a nose to the inside as they cross start finish. And there it is. They bang doors into turn number 1. Pileski goes for the lead. James Pileski with a power move to the inside in turns 1 and 2. Takes over the top spot from Christian Strader. Now let's see if the 93 can leg it out a little bit with those fresh tires. Strader really carried some momentum into turn number 3. Stuck with Pileski, but so far it seems the 93 starting to put some distance. Really got to give it to Christian Strader. He is holding his own there in the wake of the 93 as Garrett Johnston and Shane Haas side by side for the third spot. Oh boy, 3 wide into 3. Still 3 wide. Almost 4 wide with Chris Mefford on the top. Neil Quick. Oh, and there they go. Chris Mefford goes around through the grass. Neil Quick is collected and the caution comes out.
Guys, just quickly, just remember, nice and smooth. Take in fluids. Stay by those fans. Do what you can to keep cool.
Oh boy, it only gets more exciting. It's like Chuck Sweeting involved in this pretty heavily too. He's got the nose missing off his number 75. He's got the old meatball flag. So does Chris Wally. This is not good. Well, let's see if we can catch what happened here. Gonna back things up. Looks like Pileski and Durbin might have made a little bit of contact on the exit of 4. Durbin are going to hit the wall, but Mefford's going to hit the wall on his own. I don't know if he just followed somebody the wrong way, but he comes down. He gets a piece of Neil Quick. Shane Haas is in this, and Quick comes back up the track. Chris Wally will collect him. Chuck Sweeting thought he had it missed. Shane Haas kept his foot in it, came up the racetrack, and Sweeting gets into him. So as Brian McCann says in the chat, it's a race now. Well, now it's really a race. If it wasn't before, it surely is now. So James Pileski out in front. Made a pit stop on that previous caution. Still had a set of tires laying over the wall. We talked about it in the open. Will anybody gamble, try to save a set for this exact scenario? Clearly James Pileski said, that's my game plan. That's what we're going to do. So Brandon Mefford made a pit stop at 1:16. It's kind of hard to determine what he did on that pit stop. It was about a 19-second stop, so it could have been 4 tires and some repairs, or it just could have been all repairs. So we'll have to keep an eye on the 83. Neil Quick, he had some tires as well, but he was involved in that last crash, so this is going to be a tough one here. Pileski may have this one in the bag here. If he could just take care of the race car, not get wrecked on this restart, he's going to be hard to guard. Now, interestingly, Pileski's going to take the bottom here. It seems that everybody has opted for the top for the majority of the night on the restarts. We'll see if Strader's got anything for him. He was able to kind of hang with him for a little bit, even on the older tire. Here we go. We're getting ready. Pace car hits pit lane.
Green flag.
Good restart from Pileski. Oh, trouble!
Caution.
Turn number 1, caution's out again. Brandon Mefford involved, Steve Durbin involved. And the 83 is just tore up. William Tyndall gets a piece of it late. So caution number 6. 8 laps to go. Well, let's get a look. It's already at play. We'll back it up a little more. Oh, the 7 just didn't fire off. Evan Janik. I think Janik either missed a shift or ran out of gas. Given that it's a restart, I'm more inclined to think you missed a shift. Let's see if we can listen to this on board. Missed the shift. And that is the end result. Evan Janik missing a shift here on the restart. That's what caused this one. Mefford having a time trying to get to pit lane here, trying to at least get to his pit box and call it a day. Doesn't want to tell, can't say I blame him. Steve Durbin heavily damaged. He's got the meatball flag. He'll have to come to pit lane as well. Evan Janik has cleared his meatball, or he has left the server. I think he's out. I think that's the closest to pit lane Mefford can get, at least his pit box. Looks like a modified race at Stafford right now. So I just got to venture the guess here that this really gives the advantage to James Pileski, still out there with about 10 lap fresher tires than anybody else that could challenge him. He does have Garrett Johnston to the outside, and between him and Christian Strader, they've really been able to do a lot with a little bit tonight. Ready for the restart. It'll be a 4-lap shootout. This is where the anxiety sets in for James Pileski, having to sustain these multiple restarts. Here we go.
Green flag.
Chris Mefford will restart from the 3rd spot. He'll get a good restart. There's damage on that car, but he seems to be able to work his way through if he can do anything here. But Garrett Johnston jumps to the inside, slides up the racetrack a bit. They're door-to-door off turn number 2. Banging fenders, trading paint down the back straightaway. Pileski and Johnston side by side that allows Mefford and Strader to get caught up. A 4-car battle for the lead. Oh, contact a little bit. Pileski's going to go around. The 46 will take the lead.
Caution.
Caution comes out.
Like a protein shake or a bar or anything like that?
Wow. I hate to say it, but that's really the only way anybody was going to beat the 93 here tonight. Garrett Johnston will get a black flag here. It looks like Adam Pettit the same. There's multiple drivers with black flags now. That might be they scattered to head down pit lane to avoid that wreck, so they'll get that figured out. But as Brian McCann predicted in the chat, money on the 46. Well, Chris Mefford, your new race leader. And I think he does still have fresher tires than Garrett Johnston, albeit he does have some damage. And here comes Pileski. He'll dump Garrett Johnston under the caution flag. That is not going to make the race officials happy. Significant damage now to the 15. Well, let's back things up here. Let's watch how this one unfolded. Pileski was the leader, Garrett Johnston second. You see they're side by side here. Pileski comes down a hair, Johnston comes up a hair. They make a little bit of contact. At this point, Johnston could lift. But he's going to lose 2-3 spots here if he does, but it's going to send Pileski around into the path of Christian Strader. I hate to say it, I can't blame the 93 for being upset. I don't necessarily agree with dumping the guy under caution. It's just a bad look. Right or wrong, it doesn't look good. That said, this is going to send us into NASCAR overtime, I believe. The pace car lights still on? Yes, they are. So this will be our first attempt at the green-white checkered finish. Now, let's talk about it. If you're new to racing and NASCAR racing specifically, the green-white checkered attempt, the way that it works. Effectively, we add laps to the race. Scheduled distance was 135. We're going to start lap 134 right now, and we're still not on the one to go. So the next time by will be on the one to go. That would be the technical final lap. But we're not going to do it as a final lap. We're going to add laps. When they come back around, they'll take the green flag. Now, if they make it back around before the caution comes out, if they make it to the white flag, that would be the final lap, then that's it. They're going to race it back around. They're going to finish this race off. But if the green flag comes out and they wreck again and the caution comes out, well, we'll line them up. We'll do it again, up to 3 times. So Chris Mefford will need to hold off Todd Kleek, Shane Haas, Peter Ruzick, Garrett Johnston. Johnston, even after that damage, will restart in the 5th position. Strader still shown in pit lane. That'll leave us with 7 cars on the lead lap. It's been chaotic here late. Started out really clean. Not so much now. Doubled up, ready to go for the restart here. First attempt at a green-white checkered finish. Chris Mefford will lead Todd Kleek. Mefford opting for the low side of the racetrack. Seems to be where he wants to be as far as the handling characteristics of his race car. The pace car comes to pit lane. Barney waving the green flag.
Green flag.
Good restart for the 46. Down the backstretch, Mefford with a 0.4 second advantage already. The battle on for the 2nd spot. Peter Ruzick up into the P2. He'll take the spot away from Shane Haas. TJ Majors there in the mix, but he's not a lead lap car. He's shown back, I believe, in the 15th spot. 18th for that matter. White flag is in the air. Final lap for Chris Mefford. Brian McCann made the call. Money's on Chris Mefford, but here he goes, a half lap away from locking it up. Mefford through turns 3 and 4, put it on pole position, didn't lead a whole lot of laps, but he led the ones that count. Checkered flag, the 46 wins it. Peter Ruzick finishes second. Shane Haas will come home third. Chris Mefford victorious. Mefford doing the burnout in his pit stall, saying thanks to the guys. Clearly a very happy Chris Mefford picking up the win here at Atlanta Motor Speedway. Will it let him drive through there? Usually, he's trying to do the ghost burnout. That's all she wrote. We'll step aside here, get our break out of the way. We'll be back with our top three finishers after this. Stay with us.
Spartan Transportation and Spartan Logistic Management is your one source for all your shipping needs. 53-foot dry van shipments, auto transport shipments, full-service in-house brokerage, drop-lot facilities, just-in-time deliveries to all auto manufacturers, facilities in St. Louis, Missouri, Kansas City, Missouri, and Indianapolis, Indiana. Spartan Logistics, LLC, proud sponsor of the IROC Series, Kyle Steffens UMP Modified and Silver Crown Driver, and Gordy Gundaker, World of Outlaws late model. Visit us at spartan-logistics.net or find us on Facebook.
Need insurance coverage that's built for speed? Frank Yea's office in South Charleston has your back. Whether you're blazing down the highway, protecting the home you've built, or setting up a legacy for your family, we've got the coverage you need. Auto, home, life, fast, simple, and made for you. Scan the QR code on your screen now to explore all our services and start a free quote today. Lock it in, save it for later, or call us at 304-744-7700 to get started.
Back at Atlanta Motor Speedway, the Hotlanta 202 in the books. Chris Mefford from pole position taking the win, but if you didn't watch the race here tonight, it's not how you expected it to go. Didn't lead a whole lot of laps this evening, but he led the ones that mattered, picking up the checkered flag here late. Let's see if we get a word with Chris Mefford, our race winner. We'll pull him up into the broadcast booth. Chris, it's Steve with Track Limits. You got a good copy?
I got you. How you doing?
Chris, congratulations, man. Put that car on pole. Not something we expected to see here tonight. We know you usually run good, but pole position here at Atlanta Motor Speed with the old scan on top of that. But then you back it up with a win here late, taking full advantage of those fresh tires. What was the mindset? What was the game plan coming into tonight?
Tires, really. During practice and warm-ups, you really burn through your tires the first 10, 15 laps. So that was the main thing. And then I think I wrecked myself there early on, so I put it behind the 8 ball and try to play a tire strategy at the end, and it kind of worked out.
We saw some contact early in the race with Lilith Peters. Walk us through what happened there. I didn't really understand how it went down, but obviously another issue later on as well.
Yeah, I think we was both actually in turn 2 there, and I think I probably went up a little higher than I should have, and she came down maybe a foot, so nothing against her. So all on me, my apologies. But yeah, I think we was just really just trying to save tire there, and I just got tight and didn't turn the wheel hard enough. So no, just hard racing. I hate that I got her and I think ruined her night. She's usually up towards the front.
Coming up here in a couple of weeks, November the 3rd, the Fast 40 with DJG at Nashville Fairgrounds. I know you don't necessarily run every race, but can we expect to see you out there?
We can only hope so. So I got a little one. He's 8 months old, so I really do it as much as I can. To be honest, I feel like I've been fast a lot of weeks, just not having no luck. So, it's kind of made it not fun. The win definitely helps, but still, we still got some cleanup to go do through the whole league. So hopefully this race here is a lot better, I feel like, once we go off the short tracks. So hopefully we can keep improving and make great racing.
Well, you had the speed in the race car tonight, certainly, and the strategy to make it work there at the end, picking up the victory here at Atlanta Motor Speedway. Congratulations, Chris. Who do you want to thank before we let you go?
Yeah, I'd like to thank you guys for the broadcast. Thanks, Wally, for doing the schemes and putting up to all of us. Shout out to the Spartan Transportation, Charity Motorsports. I know we're missing a lot. Shout out to Brian McCann for not being racing on his own computer. That's always a blessing. And shout out to, really shout out to everybody. I mean, we all had hiccups here and there, but I do feel like this is probably one of our cleanest races we've had, this season or pretty close to it. So, if we don't keep improving, like I said, we'll have some great races.
It's been getting better the last couple of weeks, certainly been noticeable on our end. I'm certain the fans are seeing that as well. So a job well done. Congratulations, Chris, man. Thanks for talking to us, and good luck in Nashville if you happen to make it out.
Yes, sir. Thanks, Steve.
It's Chris Mefford, your race winner here at Atlanta Motor Speedway. Next, we're going to talk to who I would expect to be a very happy Peter Ruzick, driver the number 26, bringing it home with a runner-up finish. We'll pull him up into the broadcaster's booth. Pete, it's Steve with Track Limits. You got a copy?
I got you, sir. How are you?
Peter, congratulations, man. Second place finish, 16th start. 16th starting position here tonight at Atlanta Motor Speedway. What was the strategy here tonight? I'm not trying to be offensive by any means, but we don't usually see up here in the top three, at least for any consistency. But you got it done here tonight. Whether you had a plan or you got lucky, walk us through it. What was the strategy tonight? Was it just a matter of trying to save some tire at the end and dodging the wrecks?
It really was a whole lot of keeping the tires under you. It got very loose later on in the run, and you just had to try to maintain it. Meanwhile, trying to keep track position, not letting the people in front of you or behind you get too far or too close. But I ran a ton of laps last night in a practice that was held, and I had the speed, and the car did get pretty loose, but just kind of learn how to control it and still keep the tires digging in the right direction.
Well, you made it work. Again, looking at the race car, you kept things pretty clean throughout that, so that's half the battle. And obviously taking care of those tires there at the end. Hanging on for a second-place finish here at Atlanta Motor Speedway. Congratulations at that, but we look forward now. We get a break next week, but 2 weeks from now, we go to the Nashville Fairgrounds. Another short track, something that has been a little touch and go for some of the drivers over the course of this season, though North Wilkesboro was pretty impressive. Walk us through how you prepare for a place like the Fairgrounds.
I have personally never turned a single lap there, so it's gonna be pretty interesting. But I've got great help, with Tim and Brian McCann, his brother Kevin. We all share whatever information we can that'll go between the various wheels that we've all got, the various bases and pedal sets. So I'll definitely be leaning on my teammates a little bit and see what we could do there.
Well, the only advice that I can give you, and I'll say this, take it with a grain of salt because I'm not the greatest at Nashville Fairgrounds either, but work on getting the race car pointed down the straightaway sooner than later, and I'm sure Brian McCann can walk you through that.
I appreciate it. I'll definitely be talking to Brian maybe when he's back home and sober, and he's ready to complete a full race again.
Well, with that said, congratulations again. Second place finish here at Atlanta. Pete, who do you want to thank?
Man, I got to take it back a little bit to the days where I actually broadcasted this series before you became available and took it over. I got to give a big old thank you to Spartan Transportation and everybody here in IROC that runs this series. Chris has been at it a long time. I know it's a whole lot of effort, and when you've got to deal with 40 plus different drivers, 40 plus different personalities, it really does take a village. So I appreciate everybody.
Yeah, it's a challenge up here, too, because the paint schemes are all about the same. That's always fun.
I know it.
All right,
Thank you.
Pete.
I definitely appreciate every single broadcast you put on as well. Always top-notch, sir.
Well, thanks for the kind words, Pete. Congratulations again, man. Good luck in a couple of weeks.
Thanks, sir.
Pete Ruzick, your second-place finisher here at Atlanta Motor Speedway. We're going to talk to Shane Haas next, the third-place finisher. Pull a driver of the number 23 machine up into the broadcast booth. Shane, it's Steve with Track Limits. You got me?
Okay.
All right.
Yeah, I got you.
Shane, congratulations, man. Third-place finish. Started 19th here tonight. Not the greatest of qualifying efforts. Was there a problem in qualifying, or it's just not your forte?
This old land is not my forte, but I'm getting a lot better with it. But I just worked throughout the race, got me in the right spots that I needed to be, and for most of the rest, I got into that one wreck. But yeah, third place in the old Atlanta scan is pretty good for me, though.
It's a very tough racetrack to even come in the top 5. Top 10 is an effort well done, but a top 3 finish for yourself, always good when you can talk on the broadcast post-race. So job well done there. We look forward to Nashville Fairgrounds in a couple of weeks. We got next week off now, but another short track on the schedule. How do you prepare for those tight racetracks where you're going to be beating and banging the fenders a little bit more than we did tonight?
Just practice and practice. I have a few buddies of mine. We usually race Sunday nights on the day of the weeks of the track that we race, and I just try to get better and better at times so I can put a good show out there for you all watching out there on YouTube and IROC channel.
Well, you guys certainly put on a good show here tonight. Congratulations again on the third place finish. Who do you want to thank before we let you go?
I'd like to thank MDI Racing, James Banner. He's been one of my good buddies for the last 5 years here. Sam Speedway, Landon Moody, Sin Sport, and then for you, Steve, for hosting these, broadcasting these races for us to watch.
Well, happy to do it. Thanks for the kind words, Shane. Congrats again for like the millionth time, but man, you earned it. It's always a fun feeling to be here in the top 3 post-race. So job well done, man. Good luck in a couple of weeks.
All right, thanks, Steve.
Shane Haas, your 3rd place finisher here at Atlanta Motor Speedway. That'll do it for the interview portion of tonight's broadcast. We'll take a look here at our race results. Of course, we talked to our top 3 already. Chris Mefford, Peter Ruzick, Shane Haas, your top 3 finishers. Todd Kleek was 4th, Adam Pettit 5th. Neil Quick drove it home to a 6th place finish even after the late race crash. Garrett Johnston was 7th, Kyle Hardy 8th, Matt Kopp was 9th, and even with the tow truck, Aaron Smith finishes in the 10th spot. 11th was James Pileski. Christian Strader was 12th. Really fast race car here tonight, but 5 laps down. Kyle White was 13th, William Tyndall 14th, Brent Butler, another fast driver tonight, 15th. Brandon Mefford was 16th. TJ Majors, speaking of fast, it seemed like he had something for Aaron Smith, but Aaron Smith ended up putting him up in the wall there in the dog leg. He'll finish 17th. Steve Durbin was 18th. Phil Chartier was 19th. Evan Janik came home in the 20th position. 21st finisher was Chris Wally. 22nd went to Chuck Sweeting, another fast car involved in a wreck. Tim Schofield was 23rd. Jason Nilgis, we saw some pace out of him tonight too. He was 24th. 25th, Zach Kleek. Brian McCann on the old 15-inch laptop, 26th. Vincent Short, 27th. Adam Benefield, 28th. Nuke Quick was 29th. Gavin Hinson was 30th. Casey Benz, 31st. Josh Mears, 32nd. And another unfortunate, disappointing finish for Lilith Peters. My heart goes out to that girl. She has got some pace. She just needs to put a whole race together, and she'll have a shot at one of these before you know it, maybe even at the fairgrounds in Nashville here in a couple of weeks. Every place we go, she's got pace. She's just had some terrible luck lately. Hopefully they can put it together, but a tough finish for her here tonight at the Hotlanta 202. That's going to do it for us here at Track Limits Network. Thanks for tuning in here tonight. Congratulations again to Chris Mefford picking up the race win here at the old layout here at Atlanta Motor Speedway. Nashville Fairgrounds on, I believe it's the 3rd. Now that I think about it, I think I'm going to be traveling that week. I will be in Vegas for the SEMA show for work. Don't get too excited. Yes, it's cool, but it's a lot of walking, and it's going to be a lot of hours, but either way, not going to be here for it. Hopefully it's a great race. If it is, maybe Chris Wall will have us do it on a tape delay like we've done for some other leagues over the course of the seasons. But either way, we've got you for the duration of the season. We might miss 1 or 2 here and there, but nothing crazy planned for the duration. Thank you guys all for tuning in here tonight. Thank you for jumping in the stream chat. There was quite a few of you. That was awesome to see. A busy night in the stream chat. We don't usually see that as much here in the IROC Challenge series. So tell your friends to start chatting it up here. We don't bite. We really like looking up at those chat windows to see who's checking in and where. Again, we do multi-stream IROC TV and Track Limits Network at the same time, so you can view on either channel or both. I highly recommend, because you just showing up to watch the races on those networks, it does help us quite a bit just by being there. And what helps us even more is that like button. If you can hit that thumbs up, if you enjoyed what you saw here tonight, as far as the Track Limits side of things goes, please hit the thumbs up and help us out there. So that's going to do it again. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you guys in the next one. Have a good night.